Good evening and welcome to Anime Zing Radio here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I'm your host, Doug Engler. Joining me in the co-host seats, as always, is our good friends Miss Angela Rose
Hello, everybody.
and Mr. Darren Starling.
Yellow.
We also want to remind everybody that Anime Zing Radio is brought to you tonight by Home Circle Media for the latest and greatest in anime gear, everything from pens, pencils, stationery, and officially licensed art books. Be sure to check out Home Circle Media today or look for an upcoming convention near you. We're also brought to you by Triple S Lawn Care. If you're in the Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina area and you're looking for quality lawn care at a great price, the 2025 season is getting ready to kick off, and Darren is always looking for more clients. And so be sure to give them a call. He'll give you a great quality work at a great price.
And about to say, this time of year, good time to get your shrubs cleaned up, leaves cleaned up, and have any underbrush in the woods. I have a brush cutter.
And good evening, Ross. Welcome to the show. This is our first show. It is 2025. We have said goodbye to the 2024 anime season. I hope everybody out there had a wonderful holiday season. This is the first time all three of us have been able to get together and chat since we took our holiday break. So how is everyone?
Overall, good.
Pretty good.
I did see that, Ross.
I know one of the things Angela noticed first off when we kept on the call tonight was that I have a new toy behind me. It's a green screen, so now I can take place of Anya, which if I move this way, you can see she's there. But I can pretend to be Anya. Ross, I'm sorry to hear that you have a sinus infection, Ross. I hope you feel better. Stuff has been going around. Angela has been under the weather to finish off 2024 as well, she was saying.
Ross, sinus infections are no fun. Please take care of yourself. I hope it passes quickly. I've been there.
And I hope everybody out there had a great Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whichever you celebrate for that time of year.
Yule. Don't forget Yule.
Yule. There's so many of them, I don't even know them all anymore.
Winter holiday of your choosing.
How was your guys' holidays?
Holidays was pretty normal. Spent
Go ahead, I cut you off.
Nah, go for it, Darren.
Nah, it's okay. Go ahead.
Now, we spent the holidays with my husband's family as per the usual. Quiet, uneventful.
Good evening, John. Happy New Year to you as well.
I slept most of Christmas Day. Mom was having to take care of her dad for that day in order to give the how do I say this, nursing assistance that he has some time off. So she was with him most of the day.
And then we did a small little test stream on Christmas night, which Sharon hopped on, and we fully debuted the green screen and stuff then. But now you don't have to look at the mess behind me anymore. And if my wife or daughter comes down, I don't have to shut the camera off so that they can sneak by undetected.
Yeah, I have a green screen set up. We just got lazy and I stopped using it.
This was like the green screen was a complete and total surprise. She did everything without me even knowing. So, very excited about that.
Oh.
And Darren's switching over, so we will switch over like that. John Knight in the chat says today is Hayao Miyazaki's 84th birthday. Happy birthday to Miyazaki, an incredible animation and movie maker. I like a
Yep.
lot of his work.
Agreed. Ghibli is so good.
Now, with the winter 2025 season having started, a few shows have dropped already. Have you guys watched anything?
We haven't yet. Out of my list, only one show has started, with 2 more starting, I think, today. But we haven't started watching any anime yet this year season.
I, on the other hand, have already got two under the belt so far.
I decided that I was going to try something different. I was going to kind of take a little page out of the Angela book of where she used to have watch parties and watch like the first episode of a bunch of different shows, whether it was something that interested her or not. So I have watched 5 shows, the first episodes of 5 shows thus far.
Any keepers in that 5 shows?
I have a definite possibly going to drop, which it may. I have a feeling the one that I'm probably going to drop is one that Ross is going to enjoy. Akitsura fell in love with an Okinawan girl. I just wish I knew what she was saying. I watched the first episode, and I know I saw people saying if you liked Alia, then you'll like this show. This show just really kind of feels annoying. Or at least the first episode, and I have a feeling that some of the other shows I watched that I didn't think I was going to like, I'm going to like a lot better.
Wait, which one?
Akitsura fell in love with an Okinawan girl, but I just wish I knew what she was saying.
Okay, that's one I just kind of browsed over. I didn't start it.
And to address John's comment in the chat, Windbreaker really was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that one. And season 2 got announced for later this year.
I also saw the announcement of Killing Slimes for 300 Years. Season 2 is going to be coming out April 5th.
Yeah. This year, it looks like the big announcements are all season whatevers.
Yeah. One that seems like it has some potential to be good. I'm getting married to a classmate I hate in my class.
Thank you.
That one looks like it has the potential of being really good after watching that first episode.
I'm sorry, she's adorable.
She is cute, but I think my favorite female character that I've seen thus far is gonna be coming down as the last one I have written down on my list here. That's not even the main character; it's a side character.
I have to say, his cousin?
No, it's not even the classmate one. It's a whole different show.
Oh, my bad. I thought we were. Never mind.
Another one that has potential, possibly the greatest alchemist of all time. That looks like it could be good. I will definitely give that a few more episodes to see how that's going to go. There are some cute characters in that, but I'm just curious to see if the storyline's going to be any good. Fourth one on my list, which I'm going to give it a few more episodes to see if it is any good or if it is just going to seem like it's crap. Headhunted to Another World, from Salaryman to Big Four. Yes, isekai, dude that's underappreciated in his world, is a hard worker, is treated like crap, gets summoned to another world to work to be one of the Big Four generals for the Demon King's army. I like the fact that it's something a little bit different, kind of a little creative one to it. Oh, thank you, Ross. That was another one that I had started that I forgot to write down. Bogus skill fruit show. Where was that? Oh yeah, bogus skill.
And it's funny, the ones I'm looking forward to the most are all season 2s right now.
All the season 2s that I'm looking forward to haven't started yet.
Well, yes, but 2 of the ones that I'm super hyped about are starting, I want to say next week.
I think so. I'm guessing. I'm guessing one of them was.
One
Mama.
of them is Apothecary Diaries
Yes.
and allegedly starts on the 10th, and the other is My Happy Marriage, which allegedly starts tomorrow.
My Happy Marriage. That's the one on Netflix, right?
Yes.
I'm
going to admit I probably wouldn't have even watched this if Ross hadn't mentioned it.
Well, Angela, because of my wife, I have watched the first season of My Happy Marriage.
What did you think?
A lot better than I thought it was going to be, and it had very much an Apothecary Diaries feel to it.
So you see why I liked it.
And I love Apothecary Diaries. Like I said, over the Christmas break, I think with Darren on, that I found a new favorite character that Emmy Lowe voices. Absolutely love Mama.
I've been telling you guys for like the entirety of Apothecary Diaries how good it was.
Yeah, but where we're polar opposites, when you really, really love something, a lot of times I feel like I'm just gonna hate it on principle.
I know, and let's be honest, that's one of the reasons I haven't watched Freerun, not gonna lie.
And I will be honest, Freerun is. I've seen a lot of people complain that Freerun is a slow burn, which it is. But the storyline is fantastic, in my opinion, and I love the fact it's not isekai, which shouldn't eliminate it from your potential list.
No, honestly, it's two things. The first thing is it just got so it just was way too overhyped.
Coming from somebody who watched My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan, shows that got overhyped all quick.
Please note, I didn't start watching any of them until after the initial hype died down.
Okay.
I did for Attack on Titan, we binged the first almost 2 full seasons to watch season 3 live. And Demon Slayer, well, I watched it I watched a chunk of it within the past year.
Just saying, for somebody who enjoys a lot of the overhyped shows.
I don't watch them when the overhyping is happening.
I think Freerun was the first show that I really watched when the overhype was happening. Even shows like Fairy Tail, when I did watch it, I never watched it as it dropped. It was always, let me binge a few episodes here, a few episodes there.
Hence, eventually, I'll probably end up binging Freerun.
And speaking of Freerun, I did, take a little bit of funds and purchase volumes 4 through 10 of the manga. So I have more stuff to read. So once that comes in, I'll officially have the first 10 volumes of the Freerun manga.
On the manga note, I made a good dent in Black Clover.
Very nice.
Because too much to watch, but easy read.
Anime wise, I made it to the episode 130 or 40 something. So I'm trying to remember where it was about that. Nero had just been introduced within the past 20, 30 episodes. Have you gotten that far?
No, I'm at where did I leave off? I think I'm in like the 60s, chapter wise.
Okay, so are you at the let's see the golden. Are you has what's his face squared off against his brother yet in the golden? Let's see, there's the Silver Eagles. I don't remember what.
No, the brother hasn't actually been around much.
Okay, so you're still way back there.
Yep.
Okay, never mind.
Going back to the list of stuff that I have watched at least one episode of, the Elf Girl's cat is secretly an S-ranked monster. I've watched the first 2 episodes of that. I already see Angela shaking her head.
I was gonna watch that and just haven't got to it yet.
I saw the description and I sort of
Knew I was gonna check it out.
knew at least one of you, if not both, were gonna check it out, and I'm just like, "Yep, that's not for me."
That's the show where I kind of like the Elf Girl is a decent character, but I like the blacksmith character better. And the cat is cute. I do like the fact that it looks like a cat, like a little kitten, even though it's really supposed to be a behemoth. And then of course Bogus Skill. So I've actually started the first episode of 6 shows, not 5. And in the chat, Ross has been quite active with the stuff that he has started. He says that I've seen Bogus Skill Fruit. It's lightly funny, but more serious. Headhunted to Another World. Funny and enjoyable. The chemistry between the dragon girl and main character romance is there. I kind of agree. I kind of like the dragon girl. You can tell that her attitude towards him changed when he was able to figure stuff out that she couldn't. Grisaya Phantom Trigger is different than original. I like Chris so far, but subtitles seems to go really fast. It tries to do a huge recap from the visual novel. I saw Neat Ninja, didn't know they would fuse the episodes and do 24, but it's funny. I see why Darren recommended it. Behemoth S-Rank cat I like as well. The cat is really funny and the elf is really perverted, but the knight tries not to. The cat is the knight. And after this, I'll be watching How to Try to Escape Princess Lesson.
Okay.
And John Knight says that Freerun Beyond Journey's End Part 1 Blu-ray and DVD is now released. Since we were on a Freerun kick.
Oh, and not to ignore you, Ross. Very much enjoying my gift from you. Nice to meet you, by the way, in person. It was amazing that we were actually able to meet, even though it was a short visit. But thank you very much, and Angela and Doug, I will get you yours as soon as the time allows.
Sounds good.
Definitely sounds good.
Now, don't you have a convention in your area? Was that this weekend that you had the convention in Raleigh, or is it next weekend?
Unfortunately, it was this weekend.
And you were unable to make it due to work.
Oh no, I made it, but they took me to the cleaners at the gate at the door. They wouldn't discount it, even though I only had 2, and even though there was only 3 hours left in the convention.
Oh.
Those corporate cons, they're a lot less forgiving.
That's nonsense.
Yeah. I did get a few things that was interesting, and I'll show them off in a bit. But by the time I got there, it was almost 5 o'clock, and the con ended at 7, and the dealer hall closed at 6.
So you didn't really have time to go and check everything out that you wanted to see.
Pretty much. There were no panels that I was interested in afterwards. I basically spent my whole time wandering the dealer hall, going up and down trying to look for stuff. And to my knowledge, I didn't see the first free run figure anywhere. Now that I think about it.
John, to answer your question, yes, I'm getting over being sick.
And Ross says, yes, Angela, I'm excited for My Happy Marriage Season 2 tomorrow. Let's go.
I
did take some pictures of some things. Unfortunately, I didn't really have time to stop for any cosplays because most everybody was out of cosplay at that point, or was it was cosplays that we see all the time that you don't think to ask a photo for. The amount of Has-Been Hotel cosplays was probably the most popular thing I saw.
A Has-Been Hotel is actually, I will give credit where credit's due. I didn't think I would like it, and season 1 of that was actually quite enjoyable.
I agree. I'm not a Has-Been Hotel person, but I give the series credit. And the songs are way too catchy.
They are very catchy. And there's also some great little like one-liners that come from that. If you watch the show and you see, what happens, things like that was a productive meeting, resonates with me. I found that line absolutely hysterical. And
well, that was a productive meeting. We just got here.
And then there was the little maid girl there who's always cleaning the hotel, and they're like, "You're a mess." And she's like, "I'm the mess?" Like all sad and everything. And it's like, "You want to go play with the kitty?" Yeah. Which I thought that was very funny as well. And Ross.
Personally, my favorite was the beef between Vox and Alistair.
I also like Take That Depression when he throws the rubber ducky. That was great as well. I enjoyed it so much, in fact, that we got shirts that basically just say "Take That Depression."
Lucifer was fun, I'll admit.
And Ross in the chat says, "I suspect I'm going to be emotionally angry this season of My Happy Marriage, just like last season, because of the trailer showing her father coming back."
I can agree with that. I'm also curious to see if this season they bring back her sister and deep dive into what happened with her.
Wait, Doug, did I send those to you or the group?
To me directly.
What?
I'm guessing you meant to send those to the group chat.
Yeah.
Spike Bebop says, watching Netflix, so wonderful to be sick for the new year. Yup, agreed. That's how I spent New Year as well.
And hello, Spike Bebop. Welcome to the show. I hope that you feel better soon. Genuinely, I know a lot of sickness is going around. Ross is recovering. Angela is recovering. My daughter has a cough, which I think is more boogery related than anything else. I've caught a little bit of a cough because it's been Cold up here. I've worked in outdoors in some really less than desirable conditions, and probably going to get called out tomorrow during the snowstorm that's going to be coming through here.
And if you can't tell, I also have a slight cough that I'm trying to get rid of.
So stuff is going around. Ross says, and Ross the chat says tomorrow starts another new show called A Crush at Work, which by the trailer and plot, I'm trying to understand, are they already dating? I don't really know that one.
I don't know. I'd have to reread the synopsis. I think they're. I don't think they are. I don't know. Oh, and that pickup truck is for you.
I was amused.
Any way to put that on screen, Doug?
Yeah, give me just a moment here.
Or put them, I should say.
If I do this.
Do you want me to do it?
You can if you want to.
Share screen.
And they actually did this. They brought the cars inside this year instead of having them out on the street, mostly because it was raining, sleet.
Oh. All right.
That was 02. That was a My Hero Ram 1500. That was a interesting Mazda. And they had a couple of older vehicles as well.
And then some classics.
Yep. And the reason that yellow Camaro on the right was there was because it was one of the Transformer Camaros.
That's what I was going to say. Transformer, was that Bumblebee?
Yep. Oh, and also, I don't know if there's a way, but on the 02 one, did you see what was sitting in the driver's seat? And this was really popular at the convention. I had mixed feelings about it.
Want to throw a shout out to our friend Gavin, who's watching us in the chat. He said, Darren, really cool looking cars, and hello to everybody out there. He is working, but he has us on in the background. So,
and John Knight says it's already started to snow.
Ross, it's very funny you say that.
Not quite snowing here yet.
It flurried earlier today here with some sleet mixed in. And Ross, I think I'm gonna go ahead and show that now. I got a new shirt at the convention, and well, you'll see in a second.
And while Darren's doing that, want to let everybody know, all of our friends that are in the New England area, our good friend Ben Santos has a convention coming up in July called the Mid-Maine Comic and Toy Convention. It's going to be at Thomas College in Waterville, Maine, July 26th and 27th. We are going to try to get Ben on the show to talk about that. Closer time of the cons, we're probably going to be looking at maybe March, April, May, somewhere around there, about getting Ben on to talk more about the convention. So far listed as guests, he has ALR Cosplay is going to be there, and also the Doctor is going to be there. So a couple of guests there, a couple of cosplayer guests. So really cool about that.
I was going to say, which Doctor?
I think it's his dad cosplaying as one of the Doctors. Also, I think they're going to have the TARDIS there again, which he usually has the TARDIS. He has also done conventions in the past where he has had the actual Transformer cars there. The Optimus Prime, I think that was the truck, and Bumblebee.
Ooh.
And I see Darren has his camera on. We will give Darren the big screen.
Oh, you can tell who that is, right?
Rias?
Mm-hmm. Now check out the back. Hold on.
Everything went black.
Yep.
And
Dark.
while we're
I had a choice of black or white on this, and
Oh, that's a nice shirt.
black was the correct choice.
Yeah. I prefer black shirts when I'm getting stuff like that.
yep. And ironically, it was the last one in that size. Because I made the mistake, Doug, when you went to GalaxyCon with me with that Sakurajima sweatshirt. I got a size too small. It's done shrunk to where it's a super tight fit. I should have just bought the one he had on display.
But did it shrink small enough where I could wear it?
That is a great question. It's tight on me, and well, I don't know. Until I see you in person, I can't judge that or gauge that.
That is fair.
And yes, chat and people listening, me and Angela are the only ones that haven't met face to face yet. Ironically.
Plans for that are in the works at this point.
Well, technically, the original long shot plan was for me to meet you this weekend.
No, my original plan was to come down later in the month, but still being with other things going on, that's not happening.
Oh, I thought you broadcasted the idea several months ago about anime.
No, there was an axe throwing event in your neck of the woods that I was going to come down for later this month, but then all the things happened and money just kind of became nope, not throwing this together in this time frame.
Which is understandable.
But I'm potentially looking at coming down because Animazement, if I'm not mistaken, is Memorial Day weekend.
That is correct.
I might actually try to come down for that.
So instead of Anime Boston, do Animazement?
Why the heck not?
I think it could be a good time down there.
Well, y'all get free housing.
And then I will also attempt to see other friends down there and convince people to come to the convention and have a good time.
Yep.
John Knight in the chat says, talking about My Hero Academia earlier, he said the reasons why some people stop watching My Hero anime are plot fatigue, character inconsistencies, pacing issues, fandom negativity, and quality decline perception.
Character inconsistencies, but Deku's the most consistent character in the show.
Angela's reaction right there, she didn't have to say anything, just the physical reaction was worth it.
You know what? I will say, I enjoy My Hero. It's fun. But I actually agree with most of that. And
I think that's probably why I dropped out of watching My Hero in season 4.
That's the whole reason I said that, Doug.
And for me, it's more of a... That's another one where I binged the early seasons and completely ignored the fandom for a really long time. And I maintain that the villain arc and the vigilante arc are actually really, really good and worth it.
And eventually, I will watch the villain arc because I can agree to that. Because based on what I've seen, the villains are more interesting to me than the kids.
The vigilante arc has seen a lot of growth in a lot of the kids, but I will give you, but it takes a lot to get to that point, and I will actually 100% agree. And I honestly would liken it to a lot of the superhero type stuff that we're seeing. It's just fatigue. There's too much.
Yeah, oversaturation of the market for superhero type stuff. You have so much Marvel and DC stuff out there. My Hero, you can't escape it in anime. They even did the like the Marvel anime and stuff like that. So
Yep.
you just can't escape. I mean, I would say the superhero market is just as oversaturated as the isekai market.
and that's what I liked about One Punch. It was over the top, but in a unique way, because the guy literally just wanted to have fun. That's the whole reason he did it. He didn't do it for the glory. He didn't do it because he wanted to help people. He was just bored.
And I just didn't.
And in doing so, he became OP as.
One Punch Man is one I tried. I watched like 2 or 3 episodes. I absolutely hated it.
Oh,
But I'm not saying it was.
Oh, isn't Chainsaw Man kind of like that? He just does it all because he wants to see boobs.
that's easy. But that's dingy as well.
And we've degraded to that.
You still need to watch DXD. The characters literally have the same motivations.
Yes. And sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's that blatantly obvious, and sometimes it's understated and
DXD says it in the opening line. That's how straight to the point they get.
yeah, and
But once you can look past the fan service, the show itself actually is really good.
yeah, and that's for me. That's pretty perfect. We'll see.
Don't worry. When you come down, I'll throw it on.
And Ross in the chat says, I have news and anime that was announced a couple years ago is finally airing this year. It's called My Friend's Little Sister Has It In For Me, coming in October.
That's on my list.
Also said that we are getting a season 2 of My Dress Up Darling, a couple of Cuckoo season 2 this year, and The Invisible Man and his soon-to-be wife. I'm excited about My Dress Up Darling season 2 to see where that goes. A couple of Cuckoos, I never finished the first season.
It was 24 episodes, right?
I'm thinking so. I watched I think a little bit more than half, or to the halfway point, and then they had like that little break, and then we just kind of like it looked like it was starting to get interesting. And then it just suddenly went back to being like, oh, let's just go back to this cutesy stuff and completely forget about what made it seem like it was going to get really good. And that's when it lost me.
Thank you, Rob.
And also for you fans of Shrek, and I know usually we have John Knight or Ross who announces stuff like this, but Perry the Donkey, who inspired the Shrek movie character Donkey, has sadly passed away. He passed away at the age of 30 years old.
Oh, no.
And like I said, usually news like that is something that Ross would come up with. But I happened to see that earlier today when scrolling through Facebook, and I'm like, that's something noteworthy of saying, because of I enjoyed the Shrek movies. I'm not sure, Darren, if you or Angela, if you guys watched it as well.
I I watched 1 and 2, I think.
Same, actually.
3, I might have saw bits and pieces of.
I might have seen clips of 3.
I
Yep,
think
and
I've seen 1, 2, and 3.
I definitely didn't watch 4 with Rumpelstiltskin.
Wait, which one was Puss in Boots?
2.
2.
And then 3 was Prince Charming's Revenge, basically.
So yeah, I saw the first 3.
Yeah, because one was Everybody Knows, 2 was Fairy Godmother, 3 was Prince Charming, 4 was Rumpelstiltskin.
I did see that too, Ross. The creator of Thomas the Tank Engine died this past week as well at the age of 81. Ross in the chat said, he said, thanks for getting me started.
Well, that was an iconic show.
It was.
I
Everybody knows Thomas the Tank, even though I never watched it.
The older episodes, pre-animated faces, I think were far superior, especially basically the ones with the figures doing all the and the voiceover. That was better to me than the animated series.
Now, George Carlin or Ringo Starr?
Oh, that's right, George Carlin. That was the Shining Time Station stuff, wasn't it?
Yes.
I forgot that George Carlin was a part of that. I personally, I love George Carlin's comedy and I love Ringo Starr's music. I don't know how they did on the show because I never watched it, so I can't.
But they basically, one of them replaced the other, and I do not remember the order on that.
But if I had to choose one or the other just in general, I would probably say that I would lead more towards George Carlin because I would have loved to have seen him perform. Unfortunately, when he was alive, I was too young to be able to go and see his stand-up comedy. And unfortunately, I think he passed away before I was 18 years old.
I thought he passed away in the early 2000s.
Or maybe. Or he might have stopped touring before I was 18. That might have been what it was.
About to say, because the reason I know that is because some of the Cars movies come up on my reels lately, and they said that he did the voice of Fillmore in the first Cars movie, which was what, 2004, 2005? And then when Cars 2 came out, they replaced Fillmore's voice with, they replaced him for Fillmore with someone else because he had passed away. But on that note, it's funny. One of the anime I watched way back a couple years ago called Fairy Gone, there was actually a group, and do you know what it was called?
What's that?
Gui Carlin.
Gui Carlin?
Mm-hmm. And I think it had reference to George Carlin. And especially if you actually listen to what George Carlin would say in his performances, there's a lot of truth that we take as comedy that's actually in his performances.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, since we've already derailed at this point, Ross in the chat, switching topic away from anime, here's a question for everybody. Take your time. Here we go. With all the biopics happening lately, who would you like to see a historical biopic of?
Ross says for him, Theodore Roosevelt.
I don't.
Biopic. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, there's been some of them have been really good, others not so much.
I don't know if I've ever watched a biopic.
About to say, can you give me some examples of ones they've already covered?
One that I really enjoyed was Bohemian Rhapsody, which was effectively Freddie Mercury.
Mm-hmm.
Another one that I didn't watch, Rocket Man, Elton John.
Elton John, yep.
There were some other ones.
Wasn't Jersey Boys or the Four Seasons? Or was that just a basic movie?
That one could go either way. There was another one. Those are the two off the top of my head.
Have they done anything for AC/DC or any of the other?
No.
For some reason, I'm thinking Thunderstruck.
I would, a biopic of AC/DC would be pretty cool. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some semblance of a documentary style thing out there.
Heck, I'd be happy with a documentary of some of these people because history is fascinating to me.
Agreed. And Ross gives another example, 42 Jackie Robinson.
If we're going sports ways, if we're looking in the way of sports, I think it would be kind of neat to see a biopic of Richard Petty or Mario Andretti, two of the greatest auto racers in history.
I would argue Dale Earnhardt needs to be up there on that list if we're going with auto racing.
Well, I think they did one called 3. That might have just been a movie, but they did a movie about Earnhardt Sr.
I think I remember that. It came out 10 years ago?
I was gonna say 8 or 10 years ago. And I still remember the race Earnhardt Sr. was killed in.
I mean, if we're sticking with auto racing, another good one might actually be Tony Stewart.
Jimmy Johnson?
And I think one that had come to mind, but I think they did a movie about Ayrton Senna, Formula One legend. They did a movie about, I think it was more of a movie called Senna about him, but
John Knight says he'd like to see Fleetwood Mac. And then Ross is giving other examples of musicians. Get On Up, James Brown, Respect Aretha Franklin.
The Monkees, the Beatles. The Monkees are just kind of a crazy one, considering the fact that they started out as a fake band that actually put the work in to learn the instruments and become a real band.
I mean that happened again in the 90s with with MTV's mockumentary, their boy band mockumentary. Then the band actually put out a couple of studio albums after that.
History-wise, even though it was such a negative time in the world's history, and it was for all the wrong reasons, but Hitler, the way that he was able to lead so many people for a bad reason.
I feel like I wonder.
Was gonna say Hitler also.
Hitler would be interesting. I wonder if it would be. Did any of you see the Joker?
No.
Part 1 was actually a really, really good villain origin story. And there was a whole big to-do because people went up in arms that it didn't win the Best Picture award that year. Honestly, given what it was up against, I'm not surprised. But I'm wondering if a Hitler biopic would play kind of like that. I could see that being interesting.
Well, I have to say, if you're gonna do him, might as well do Stalin. Maybe
Stalin comes to mind.
Stalin.
Mao Zedong.
I was gonna say Chairman Mao. If we're going down that
Mama?
road. No. Although
Did someone
No,
say Mama?
apparently they did a Reagan one recently.
Okay.
I'd like to see more historical women. Because I don't think we see enough of that.
Hillary. No.
I'd argue that's not history enough.
Once he finally passes, how much you want to make a bet someone's going to rush to do one on Trump?
What about like JFK?
I thought about JFK.
You know what? I'd actually
JFK, Lincoln. I mean,
quite
a few very notable presidents in our history.
I'd also like to see like Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Princess Diana would be another interesting one.
Ross says there was a Harriet Truman one in 2019.
Okay.
I think I remember that. I think I remember the commercials for that one.
Harriet Tubman, he corrected himself.
Tubman.
Honestly, I'd love to see like the American, like people from the American Revolution.
Washington, Franklin, Jefferson, all of them.
Yeah.
It would be interesting. I mean, what about some of the the world of actors and things like that? Because there have been a lot of very famous and notable actors.
I mean, if we're gonna go down that rabbit hole, I mean, we could.
Let's start with Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah, Charlie Chaplin. Carol Burnett.
How about the original Three Stooges, considering they started doing stuff back in the 20s?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did do an Elvis one a couple of years ago. Thank you, Ross. I knew I was forgetting one. Or what about the Marx Brothers?
Yeah. Abbott and Costello.
I mean, they've.
I mean, Burt Reynolds or Dom DeLuise or Sammy Davis Jr. The list goes on.
I mean, Lucille Ball.
Yeah. Desi Arnaz. Red Fox. Yeah. At first, I thought you said Red Sox. I'm like, why would they want to do one about them?
No, Mr. Red Fox himself.
Yeah.
They're
Andy.
I did say Carol Burnett. I would love to see one about Carol Burnett. What about like the main cast of Monty Python? Like follow like something on all of them, whether it be individually or a combination.
Ross also brings up Shirley Temple, which
Marilyn Monroe. Could be an interesting one.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah. The rise and fall of Michael Jackson.
I mean, we could also get into some of the like the old school 90s rap. Get into like Tupac, Biggie.
Salt and Pepper.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's just so
what
much.
was it? TLC with Lisa Left Eye Lopez.
Yes.
Michael Jackson comes out in April. Ross says. So they are making one on him. I saw an interesting documentary not long ago about the making of We Are the World, which came out in 1984 as a way of trying to help starving people, I think, in Africa. And it was right after they did the Christmas song where a lot of well-known musicians got together.
I was gonna say, is that the Phil Collins drum solo?
What was that? The Christmas song?
Oh, there's a Phil Collins song that was part of one of those charity specials.
It was not in We Are the World. We Are the World was actually like the song was produced, recorded, and the music video was all recorded in one night after the Academy Awards or Grammy Awards or one of the award shows that had all like a ton of the top musicians. So you had like
it's
Huey
funny how
Lewis and stuff like that.
It's funny how some of the biggest hits literally were thrown together overnight.
Yep.
I think in a 2-week span, they wrote the song and then were able to get people locked down to a secret location. And it was actually very interesting. I think it was I think it was on Netflix. I saw the documentary about it. And where I love a lot of different style of music and things like that, I was all about it. I think there's a documentary about like the Beach Boys, but I haven't been able to find it to watch.
According to John Knight, today marks the 1-year anniversary of Delicious in Dungeon.
I have seen one episode of that.
That is so good.
I've seen 0.
I am disappointed, Darren.
I've at least watched one episode, but I don't watch Netflix very often.
Doug, we've had this. As we've already said, I don't expect you to watch something I say I really like.
That's why you won't watch Vending Machine just on principle.
Oh, no, that has nothing to do with you. That has everything to do with I took one look at the title and went, nope, I ain't watching this.
And it's getting a second season.
I stand.
I don't think it needs a second season, but it's getting one.
Ross also adds a biopic of Ross
Bagdasarian Sr.,
who originally made the Chipmunks before Junior took over.
I didn't realize just how old the Chipmunks and that song was until someone put on the original. I caught the original recording of it in the 1950s with it being on the TV.
Yeah, I knew it was old.
I
didn't realize it was that old.
I knew it was quite old. I thought it was 60s, not 50s, but it makes sense.
I think it was 59. It was like 59, 60.
But then again, the Monkees were also like in the 60s when the TV show came out. I grew up watching all the reruns on MTV in the 80s. That's when I became a big fan of the group and the TV show. And then I was very lucky enough to meet Mickey Dolenz in person the weekend of my wedding. So
1957, says Ross.
I tell you what, with the issues we had at work today, do you know what I told the people at the gas company?
What?
Since there's oil appearing in the pipeline, just call me Jed Clampett.
there you go. There's some sort of Beverly Hillbilly now. In convention news, of course, Facebook had to update, but I'd
Anime
seen
news: Doug's middle-aged shopping anime starts on Wednesday, says Ross.
Middle-aged shopping.
I don't know what that means either, but
Actually, I think I do. I think it's a reincarnated middle-aged man goes shopping in another world. I don't know. It's something along those lines.
oh god, what?
He said starts on Wednesday. Give me 2 seconds. Let me pull it up. Dr. Stone. Oh, the 100 Girlfriends starts soon.
here it is, the Northeast Comic Con and Collectibles Extravaganza. We were talking about DC and Marvel a little earlier. March 7th through 9th, 2025 at the Boxborough Regency Hotel in Boxborough, Mass. If you're a comic fan, first East Coast appearance together ever. Roy Thomas, legendary Marvel writer, and Jerry Conway, DC writer, will be in appearance. So the first time in the on the East Coast that they have appeared together at a convention. So if you are a fan of comics, the superheroes of DC and Marvel, you have a chance at meeting and getting autographs from both Roy Thomas and Jerry Conway, legendary Marvel and DC writers. So that's really cool. So I had seen that go across my Facebook feed, so I wanted to throw that out there real quick because I know we have a lot of people who do enjoy the comics and stuff. I think, and your husband is a comic fan.
Yep.
So I know you and I have gone to Gary's Con before, so could be something worth checking out if you have the time.
Yep.
Oh, Darren said found it. Around, let's see, the daily life of a middle-aged online shopper in another world.
That sounds like a Doug show, I will say. It sounds like something you would watch at least a couple episodes of.
Or something he's trying to say Doug himself is, given he fits the.
You think I would just go and like start buying stuff from another world if I had the opportunity?
Yes.
Probably.
I don't have the money for that. Darren would probably do it before I would.
Okay. Okay, this is hilarious. In the synopsis, get down to the bottom of the synopsis. However, his goal is to have a slow life. Instead of growing his business even more, he decides to settle down and live off the power of Jeff Bezos.
Oh.
The mail order life of a middle-aged man in another world now begins. That's funny.
I have to shake my head at that.
What, the fact they're including a real name, a real life person in an anime description?
Yeah, yes.
We've got to wait till the 11th for I may be a guild receptionist, but I'll solo any boss to clock out on time. So that starts the 11th. Apothecary Diary Season 2 starts on the 10th. 100 Girlfriend Season 2 on the 12th. As we mentioned before, My Happy Marriage Season 2 drops January 6th.
Oh, wait a minute.
That is tomorrow.
Is I May Be a Guild Receptionist, is that one we're all going to watch, allegedly?
Yep.
I'm planning on it.
It's on my list.
On my list. Now, Doug.
January 12th is also Toilet Bound Hanako season 2.
January
Not
9th
bad.
is Honey Lemon Soda.
I was about to ask Doug, is honey lemon soda on your list or anywhere near it?
It is not. But like I said, I am probably going to, or I'm going to try to watch at least the first episode of many different shows to see which ones stick and which ones don't.
We should actually all try to watch more than one. We should try to actually have more shows that that all three of us watch. Granted, half the fun is us picking on each other for our taste, but you know.
And that middle-aged online shopper, I have never heard of this studio, East Fish Studio.
What else have they done?
Frag Time. What is the English title for this? Mirage Queen, Amy Serki. They only have 4 titles listed here, and 2 of them are that circus or Ami Serki, a mahjong anime, Tohai Ura Rate Mahjong.
So a new studio, basically.
Yeah. Their highest rated show, Anoikon Tokoi no Yamai, which I'm Addicted to You.
Never heard of it.
That aired April 4th to June 20th of last year. And that was on Crunchyroll. It's a romance.
Okay.
I think Ross might have. A Condition Called Love. I think
Yep.
Ross had watched that one. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ross.
Any Adventure 2020. No, I need
Miss Elf, Welcome Miss Elf is coming out on Thursday. Ross says that's for you, Darren. Worthless Appraiser, I'm the Strongest is also on Wednesday. And Ross says he did watch that one. I thought so. When I saw romance, I was like, I think Ross should talk about that one. So you know what? I might watch one. Like I may watch one episode of that. Harem Isekai Shonen, for that middle-aged online shopper.
if this turns up anything.
So what was the one that you were saying that I should give a shot to for something different? Was it Honey Lemon Soda?
Yeah, I was asking if that was on your list.
I mean, it's a JC Staff one, and they put out a lot of really good shows.
I have a feeling that just by the art scheme, I get the feeling Angela's going to be comparing it to Skip and Loafer for some reason.
You said that on air when the promo art dropped, because the promo art for this came out right around the time Skip and Loafer ended.
Well, I reiterate my point.
Yup. It's on my list for a reason.
And I did, and I know this is an older show, but my wife did get me to start watching Carol and Tuesday, a couple days ago. So we watched like 4 episodes of that. It seems interesting. I'm not sure if it's really up my alley, but I will probably continue to watch it. I'm going to watch it objectively, open-mindedly.
Carol and Tuesday is famous in the community for literally one scene.
Oh,
And
okay.
I think you know which scene I'm talking about. Do you remember, Angela, or did you watch that one?
I didn't watch it. I've heard good things, but never seen it.
But are you aware of which scene I'm talking about?
Nope.
I don't know which scene either. The most I know about that show is what my wife told me, because she's watched it in its entirety twice, and this is her 3rd time going through, and we're watching together. I know I am excited for some of the shows that are continuing this season, though, as we mentioned before, like Apothecary Diaries. I know I was late to the party on that and My Happy Marriage, but they both are really, really good.
And I'm going to say I told you so.
And one of these times you're going to watch a show that I recommend. Oh, is that the swear song?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say
That's
that's
the
what.
most famous scene in the entire show.
See, Doug, I tried. I genuinely tried with Call of the Night, and I agreed with 90% of what you said.
Yeah.
It was just not for me.
Oh, I know. Which I and the funny thing is, my selling points to you were exactly what you enjoyed, which was the artwork and the music.
Oh yeah, no.
And I said the storyline, I thought it was good, but I didn't know if it was going to be your kind of thing. But the art and the music of that was fantastic. I should go back and rewatch that again.
The writing is 100% what killed it for me.
I still feel that you would enjoy Realist Hero. I don't know if you would give it a shot, but I still feel like you would enjoy it because it is a really, really good show. And even though it's isekai, it's still, like I crap on shonen a lot, saying it's overrated, but there are good shonens out there, and most isekai is trash. But I really feel like Realist Hero is one of the best isekais I have seen. I would put it up there with Mushoku Tensei. I think I have. Crunchyroll did this little thing where it's like end of the year. This is what you did. This is what you did, like your top shows and stuff.
And they did a wrap. They did basically a Spotify Wrapped.
Yeah, and granted, mine was a little skewed because my wife watches stuff and our oldest daughter watches stuff. So like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood was on there because when we've been watching that quite often. But it said the number one show watched was Realist Hero because I think last year I watched it in its entirety at least 4 times. I think that is a very underrated show.
Yeah, we tend to not rewatch stuff.
I tend to do most of my rewatching of stuff when I'm like stuck in a hotel for work, because I could be in there anywhere between 10 to 40 hours. And if I've caught up on all the shows I'm watching, sometimes I will rewatch stuff or I will try to find something new to watch in it. And yes, Goblin Slayer is on the list at some point to try to finish. I know you guys are still giving me crap for that. I will try to get through it at some point. There are times when I'm sitting there and I'm like, should I maybe I'll start watching it, and then I'll be like, what else is on?
See, the thing is, it's a good fantasy without being an isekai.
That's how I feel about Freerun too. Is it's a good fantasy without being an isekai. It's just very different from most fantasies that I've seen, and I think that's why I like it so much. It's because it kind of opened, in my case anyway, it opened my mind to the views of an elf as opposed to seeing life as, a human would, and trying to get a better understanding of Frieren, who is a simple yet very complex character.
Delicious in Dungeon actually has an episode where they kind of get into that racial perspective, if you will.
I did watch I Parry Everything, which I think came out last season.
Yeah.
And it was an interesting show, but I wouldn't rank it very high.
One show I kind of regret from last season that I heard good stuff about was the Notorious Talker. Part of me wishes I'd have gone back and watched that one.
We actually finished everything from last season.
I did not finish everything. There was a few shows I started that I dropped, which tends to happen because I will start a season off and I'll probably watch sometimes 10 or more shows, and then I'll either A, forget about them, or B, I'll lose interest in them because I'm watching other stuff. I mean, we're in the first week of the winter 2025 season, and I've got 6 shows written down that I have watched at least one episode of. Like I said, that Okitsura, I would probably drop because one episode I'm like, this just does not interest me. I kind of don't like the characters, and I kind of don't like the art style. Something about it's just kind of crap. I wish I could find more shows out there. Like Bartender was a phenomenal show from last year.
Agreed.
I would love to find more shows like that, or find more shows like a New Game or After School Dice Club, where they kind of get into like breaking down the behind the scenes of gaming industry, whether it be video game or tabletop. I enjoy those shows. And I'm kind of curious to see what comes up next as like the popular thing in the anime world. I know for a bit we had a run where there was a bunch of pharmacy based anime, a bunch of farming based anime. Recently we've had a bunch of cooking based anime, whether it be Delicious in Dungeon, campfire cooking in another world. The Dungeness stuff is or the villainous stuff is going crazy right now. I didn't mean to cut you off there, Ange.
No, Doug, on you're talking about behind the scenes shows. One I actually think you'd really like is Bakuman. It's done by the people that created Death Note.
I've heard amazing things about that show.
And it's basically 2 kids. One's a writer, one's an artist, and they team up to make a manga. And it's basically all about the behind the scenes of how a manga gets published, it gets written and published, and then it also delves into how they decide what gets animated and what doesn't.
Oh, so it's like a Sister's All You Need.
And Comic Party. And Comic Girls.
This was a very, very well done slice of life that we binged at one point.
But yes, Doug, that's a valid answer too.
And apparently Campfire Camping is getting a season 2, says Ross.
He says he is skipping lemon soda for reasons, but he's still excited for Aharon-san season 2 in April. Mine top was Laid Back Camp because he binged it last winter, as well as Bottom Tier. Somehow those are my top shows. The genre gave me slice of life, music, and romance. When did I ever watch music? There are some good music-based shows. What was that, Darren?
I eventually need to watch K-On!
I don't know if you need to watch K-On! I have tried, and this is coming from somebody who watches a lot of like anime-based or music-based animes. I have attempted 4 times to watch K-On! And have yet to get past like episode 4. It has not kept my interest at all. I've heard mixed reviews of some. The people who love it absolutely love it, and the people who didn't care for it were like, it's okay, but it wasn't very, they just had different reasons that it didn't keep them. For me, it was just like the story didn't hook me, and the music didn't hook me, which is weird because I like a wide variety of music. Hence things like Show by Rock, which I really love that series because it's so many varieties of music. Granted, the Love Live franchise seems like it's, for the most part, a carbon copy of each previous or each of its predecessors, although Love Live Superstar, I like how they changed it up and made it different from the first 3 variations of the Love Live franchise.
And you still haven't dived into the Idol Master.
I have not done Idol Masters. I have not done Bang Dream. Oshinoko I have not delved into.
That was on my list, but I just never started.
I also did enjoy, if my favorite idol made it to the Budokan, I Would Die. That I thought was a very interesting show. Shine Post, absolutely love that as an idol-based anime.
Shine Post was interesting. I'll give you that one.
I thought it was neat because it was like, it wasn't a high school idol show. It was, okay, these are underground idols trying to make a name for themselves who happen to be in school. But it didn't focus on, oh, we need to save our school, so let's form an idol group like Love Live and some other shows. That's one thing that I really enjoyed about it. And, it went into showcasing the characters going through like some personal issues and things like that. I would love to see a second season of Shine Post because they left it on a hiatus where they very easily could continue that show. Because don't forget that in the last episode, they were challenged by High Rain to a competition.
Mm-hmm. I do remember that.
And I think my favorite character after watching Shine Post a few times has changed. I really like the character development of the blonde hair girl. The one who had a lot of self-confidence issues and things like that because she can't dance. And then they had her go out and sing the ballad. And it was like, the voice just blew me away. And then when I did some research on it, the Japanese actress who voiced the blonde from Shine Post was also the voice of Himiko in Shobai Rock Machimaresh. So that explains why I really love the voice. I forget her name off the top of my head, but I did look it up. I was like, oh, okay, that explains why I like absolutely amazing singing voice, which a lot of the voice actors really have great singing voices. They're absolutely amazing talent for acting, singing, which is why they do what they do and why I'm here talking on a podcast.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, this is a place where I get to where I get to have opinions, I get to talk about them, and I get to and occasionally I get yelled at for them. But hey, that's half the fun.
I get yelled at all the time for my opinions.
Likewise.
Usually by Angela. Especially when I say things like Bofuri is what SAO should have been.
I knew that was coming.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? On a silly note, you know what meme came up in my Facebook feed recently?
What's that?
The someone claiming Plymouth is Boston.
that was a classic. I'm from Boston area. Yeah, where? Plymouth. That's not Boston. Oh
No,
my God.
they didn't say Boston area. If they had, that rant wouldn't have happened. They said Boston.
That was. I wish, Darren, you could have been there for that. Even Christy got worried on that one when Angela flew, because Angela stood up ready to fight, and then Angela had to go and hide when we had Token with the Dead Guys on. She couldn't make the show, but I think you were out of the country for their show.
I think you're right. Or no, the first time we were supposed to have them on, they screwed up and missed it.
Yeah.
And then when the reschedule happened, I was in another country.
We should reach out to them about getting them back on the show again because they're so much fun.
Agreed.
I love those guys. I miss a lot of the New England con scene because we became friends with so many different artists and vendors and just creators at these events. And being, working the job I am now, where going from an average of 5 to 10 conventions a year at least. Last year, I think I made 3.
I mean, to be fair, last year I think I only attended 3 conventions. 2 of them were PAX related.
Because I had Anime Boston, CCE, and I think I got one more in there.
That said, I was in another country for 2
Oh, yeah, the Horror Con. The Horror Convention was the third one we went to. And Ross in the chat says, this news is for Doug. The voice actor of Hibiki from Dumbbells has been diagnosed with PTSD and will be taking a break. And the voice actress who did the voice of Chaos-chan in Comic Girls gave birth to a daughter this past week. Congratulations to her.
Oh, great.
Hopefully Mama and baby are doing well, and wish them the best. In other voice actor news, over the holiday break, I saw it announced that Brianna Roberts landed a dream commercial job where she got to do the voice over for their 70-year anniversary commercial. So congratulations to Brianna Roberts. I was really excited to see that. Wonderful, wonderful person. We haven't had her on in a while. I should reach out to her about getting her back on the show at some point. But was really excited to see that. Definitely wish her the best of luck on her career and everything going on. Um, yeah, so many things have been um, happening over the past year plus. Seen a lot of voice actors who have either gotten married or extended family, having children, things of that nature. So really excited for them, for the stuff going on in personal lives. Of course, always excited to see the new roles that come out for different voice actors. Like I said, I found a new favorite character. It used to be Delmine was my favorite Emilo character. Now it's Mao Mao because she's just an absolutely adorable character. Who's your favorite character from Apothecary Diaries?
I mean, Mamo is just fantastic.
The way that she's written, and like I say that like I love Mao Mao character, and it has nothing to do with looks. It has to do with the character itself, the way that she was
so
written,
well,
and so in depth. Like watching it in English, and I think I watched some of it in Japanese and in English, and the voice actresses both did an amazing job at just bringing Mao Mao to life and making you really feel like the different levels of her personality. So I am really, really excited. That's one reason why I had to have the Mao Mao backdrop. I think I have like two of them. I was like, I need to get one of them for behind me. Ross says Sisbel from Last Crusade anime is his favorite Emilo character. I don't know how many of her characters that you've seen. I know you watch more Japanese and English dub, but
Yup.
uh,
I don't watch a lot of dub.
I will admit I have watched more sub anime than dub anime in the last year because I'm trying to keep up with stuff as they drop. And then if it's something that my wife is interested in as well, we'll go back and rewatch it in English. Because a lot of times when we watch stuff together, it's while we're eating lunch or dinner, and we'll put shows on, and it's easier to keep up with in English than try to read subtitles while you're eating food. But it's like I just love how well Mama was written, and curious to see where season 2 goes with that. Trying to look here to see. Something that, why does it say there's 15 seasons of this? I've never heard of this show before, but it says Theater of Darkness. It says there's 15 seasons, 183 episodes. I don't know if that's something that you would be interested in or not, Ange.
That many episodes? Probably not at this point.
Yeah, I'm not sure when it started.
But no, I have
thriller.
No, I actually have a longer than my usual list for this season.
Oh, we also finally sat down and watched the Spy Family movie.
What did you think?
There were scenes in that had me laughing so hard. I don't know if Darren's still with us or if he's died. I don't know if he watched the movie or not either.
Because we saw it in theaters, I purposely avoided spoilers.
And
But-
I knew you had seen it in the theater, and we finally were like, let's we went off to a new place, and a shout out to a pizza joint that's not far. That's like 20 minutes from us, called Picasso Pizza. Amazing food, true Italian like pizza and stuff. We had a Philly cheesesteak pizza, and got the garlic knots because I love like the garlic bread and things like that. Hands down, probably the best garlic knots I've had from anywhere. And the pizza was amazing as well. Discovered that place because of door dashing. Had to pick up food from there multiple times and always smelled so good. We're like, you know what? It's Fat Kid Day yesterday, so let's get that. But sitting down and eating that while watching the Spy Family movie, there were times that I had to like put the plate down. I was laughing so hard, I was afraid I was going to spill the food off the plate. The Anya scene where they're trying to get her to poop out a microfilm, I lost it when it went to like that trippy, like you're tripping on acid, and her riding the boat and the fountains are peeing everywhere. Oh my God, that was hysterical. That was absolutely hysterical.
Yep.
And, having a chance to like refresh myself with Spy Family, and I've said multiple times towards the end of last year, comparing Yor to Yuki from You Are Miss Servant, where they're both assassins, I still stand by I like Yuki better than Yor. Granted, I think if they went head to head to fight, it would be a very close match. I'm not sure who would come out on top. I think I would give the advantage to Yor in a fight. If you put, assassin versus assassin. But as an overall character, I just really liked Yuki's character.
Right, yeah.
And I know, Ross, you're all the way. And Ange, you haven't watched Miss Servant, so you can't talk about Yuki.
No, but I love Yor's character.
I love the character that Yor is, and how she, like, I wouldn't say no to either one, but I just kind of like Yuki was more appealing to me, and it might be because of the fact that like one difference in personality between Yor and Yuki. Yor's, I think Yor's in her 30s, right? Or late 20s? Somewhere around there.
Old enough for the fact that she's not married is a big fucking deal.
And Yuki, even though they never specifically state her age, she is still like high school age. So she has the childlike innocence, even though she was raised as an assassin from like 6 years old. So like 8-10 years, all she's ever known was emotionless assassin. And she's trying to learn emotions. She's trying to learn how to be a normal girl, which I kind of like seeing her character development of slowly breaking out of her shell of being this basically emotionless robot just used for killing purposes, as opposed to Yor, who already has emotions, things like that. But she's just trying to figure out how to be a good mom and a good wife. But she already has social skills where Yuki doesn't. And seeing Yuki kind of come out of her shell a little bit, I think is what makes her more appealing to me, which to some people would probably find that more annoying.
You know what? I can't even argue with any of that logic. There are certain character archetypes that just appeal to me because And your happens to fall into that archetype.
I mean, they're both fantastic characters.
But
Ross says, if I don't have much to watch this week, I will watch This Servant. And there is romance that does develop through the show, Ross, but it's not like heavily focused on the romance aspect until much later on in the series, like the last few episodes. And also some stuff happens in there that explains some things that really caught me off guard. And you are Miss Servant. Like some stuff happened in the last couple episodes that came out of left field that was like, I didn't see that coming, but it explains a whole lot.
yep.
And sometimes that's when things are good.
Up, and then Ross says, I'm skipping then. Thanks for the warning.
Okay. That's totally up to you. We all like different stuff.
We all like what we like, and
so if you feel that you need to skip it, that's totally cool. But we are here, 2025. It's our first show of the year. I'm excited to see what 2025 brings for anime, what it brings for us here on AZR. Anything that you would like to see with the show wise for this year, Ange?
I'd love to see the three of us all at the same convention doing a live stream, but that might be wishful thinking.
Especially with like my schedule. When did I get?
Oh, Ross wants us to look up. Looking it up now. It would help if I could type.
So as of right now, I was awarded vacation November 10th to November 16th. So if there's anything going on in November between those dates, convention-wise, we could try to see about everybody getting together. But that's difficult because that's like the week, that's right around Thanksgiving.
And that's the week before PAX. PAX is the weekend before Thanksgiving.
So when is Thanksgiving? So you're saying
PAX on November, August. PAX Unplugged will be the weekend 21, 22, 23.
Okay, so yeah, literally the week after.
Yep. And I will be in Philly for PAX Unplugged, and I cannot find this anime for the life of me. Oh, I just found it.
Send me the link so I can see what he's talking about. Look
There
up
you go.
Tossed aside by my fiance, sold to another country. That's an interesting one. Oh, that's supposed to come out later this year.
Yes, April.
Okay.
Although on my anime list, the English title is not listed. But it's based on a light novel. Yeah, interesting, and I kind of see where Ross is coming from with the My Happy Marriage vibes.
Yeah.
We'll see what my watch list looks like in April.
I already know a couple shows that I'm looking at for April, so
Same. I watch list for I have already a pair of season 2s for spring, a season 2 for summer. Yeah.
I have at least one season 2 in spring.
What's your season 2 in spring?
Killing Slimes for 300 years.
Yeah, my pair is Windbreaker and Go Go Loser Ranger. And then Kaiju 8's second season is going to be in the summer.
MHA Vigilantes comes out in April. I'm looking to see what else is coming out in April to see if there's anything else that's like a season 2 that I may watch. I don't see any other season 2s that are showing up right now that would be something that I would watch, but I also don't think everything has been announced for spring yet. And I'm not seeing anything that jumps off the page to me at the moment for summer. But there's a good chance I could watch a bunch of crap for this season. Like I said, I know Apothecary Diaries, when that comes out, I'm going to be watching that. So I'll write that on the list here. My Happy Marriage season 2, which is funny that both of those are coming out, and I see both of those have a similar feel. And check it, and I've got to watch season 2 of 100 Girlfriends, just because I watched season 1, and I'm curious to see what other kinds of mess he gets himself into. And I know that's not anything that would be even remotely close to up Angela's interest. Ross in the chat says, here's one for summer. It's called Betrothed by My Sister's Ex, which is a Cinderella story. That could be something up Angela's alley. I'm not sure. But yeah, lots of different stuff out there. Lots of different anime. Curious to all of the viewers out there, what are some of the shows that you're planning on watching this season, and which ones do you think are going to be good? Which ones do you think are going to be bad? And I don't know if Angela's trying to talk to us, but she's muted.
The two big ones I'm mostly looking forward to, like I said, were My Happy Marriage and Apothecary Diaries seasons 2. I think Honey Lemon Soda is going to be a cute slice of life. And I've got my watch list is kind of all over the place. I've got a figure skating one on my list.
That's not Yuri on Ice.
That's not Yuri on Ice. It's called Medalist. Zenshu, which is Mappa, so it's going to be interesting if nothing else. Mappa hasn't failed me yet.
Mappa comes out with a lot of good stuff.
Ameku MD Doctor Detective is another one I'm kind of looking forward to. I expect it to be just like the television show House, based on the description. So I have high hopes, but we'll see.
House was a good show. I did enjoy that one. I did enjoy that TV show.
But yeah, my watch list is all over the place. And now that I look at it, I don't think I actually have an honest to God shonen for the season. I have a lot of everything else. Granted, next season I'm going to have like half my watch list is going to be shonen, so. Because in the spring, My Hero comes back. Other shonens that I'd been watching come back.
You don't like shonen.
That's like saying you don't like isekai.
I know. I was going to say, that's like me saying I don't like isekai.
And Ross is looking forward to My Happy Marriage as well, and Headhunter in Another World.
Headhunter in Another World has been an interesting show. Like, episode 1 left it wide open to where it could be really, really good, or just another isekai trash. Like, I feel like it could fall either way.
But could it be so bad it's fun?
So bad it's fun is Vending Machine. I know we'll never get Angela to watch that, but we can still pick on her about it.
About watching what?
Vending Machine.
Nope. John Knight says his mom's job, dad's job, and sister's school will be closed tomorrow because of snow and ice. For anyone in those areas where there's snow and ice, please, please, please stay safe.
Yes. I know that we're expected to get snow in my area as well. I know that there are some areas that are going to be really, really, really affected by the storm. So please be safe out there. Be smart. Make sure that you have plenty of water and non-perishable foods just in case of power outages. Check on neighbors, especially if they're elderly. Make sure that people around you are okay as well. You know, a lot of times we get so caught up in our own lives that we forget about those around us. And, you know, make sure if you're in because some of these storms can be really bad. I know that. I think we were talking before the show that there are some areas that could see, you know, up to between 70 and 100 inches of snow, which that's crazy.
I'm not sure that's real. That might just be a meme, but on the off chance that it is, again,
having lived in the Syracuse area, I know that can be very real, especially lake effect snow. 32 and a half inches in 5 hours is a crazy amount of snow to get. So I know that stuff can happen. And I heard of stories of Fulton, New York, like the year before I had moved there with the ex-wife, that at one point in time they had 10 feet of snow on the ground. It was so bad, people were like exiting their homes out their second and third story windows. A garage I worked for had made tunnels so that they could get cars in and out of the parking lot into the building and stuff of that nature. So it doesn't surprise me that there are areas that can get that kind of snow.
In February of 2015, Boston had over 60 inches of. Wait a minute. No, that's not right. February 2015 is when Boston broke all the snowfall records. And it was like close to 100 feet of snow in 28 days. It was ridiculous.
Sounds about right. Was that the year that they canceled the hockey game because of
that was the year Monday. That was the month Monday didn't exist.
Because there was a year Tuesdays didn't exist because it felt like for 5 or 6 weeks straight, and this was back when I was living in Mass, that it snowed every Sunday and every Tuesday for like a month straight. And the reason I know that is because those were my 2 days off from Sullivan Tire, and I didn't miss a single day of work, even though they were closed for 2 of those Tuesdays.
Says Ross, final question, because we're on the 5-minute warning. What's your favorite snow-themed movie?
Snow-themed movie? Ice Age.
You know? I don't know.
Ice Age was really funny. I don't watch many movies, but
I will agree. I go in cycles of watching a lot of movies and watching none. I didn't actually watch Frozen.
Having kids, I have seen Frozen too many times. 1 and 2.
I don't know. I don't think I have an answer to that. Because the ones that come to mind are all sports movies.
That happen to have winter in them.
Well, yeah. Because, a movie about that basically leads into the Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
Or a movie about, or
Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan.
Oh no, I wasn't even thinking of that.
I just saw a meme on Facebook about that. Tanya Harding as Gerard Mayo and Nancy Kerrigan as the Patriots.
Oh God.
The debacle of today's game.
Ross never seen either of those.
But we are just about out of time. Yeah. Once again, thank you to everybody who tuned in. It was great to see Ross, John in the chat. Also, we had Spike in there. I know Gavin had tuned in. He wasn't talking in the chat, but he did message me on Facebook saying that he had us on, tuning in for a little bit. And, so a big thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight. Thank you to all of you who listen to us on the podcast platform. You can find us anywhere podcasts are out, Spotify, many other areas.
Ross never seen Balto either. I've heard of it, but never seen it.
Would Cool Runnings count as a snow movie?
That was one of the ones I was thinking of, was Cool Runnings. There was a stupid hockey bro movie that I've seen. A stupid hockey bro movie that was not the Mighty Ducks.
Also, a big thank you to Angela and Darren for joining us tonight. It's, we're looking forward to seeing what 2025 has to bring. We have we're closing in on starting year 11 of this show, which blows my mind. We're only a few months away from 11 years of Anime Zing Radio. Crikey. 11 years.
We're getting old.
Yeah. I realized somebody had put a thing up about, how old will you be in 2025? And I put my answer, and then I sat there and I looked at it and went, Jesus, I'm only a few years away from hitting 50. But until next week, when we have more fun and excitement and random conversation, thank you again. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. And thank you again to our sponsors, Home Circle Media and Triple S Lawn Care. Until next Sunday, I hope everybody stays safe. Keep enjoying the anime, manga, and life in general. And we'll see you again here for more Anime Zing Radio on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Have a great night,
everybody.